Hello, welcome to Liverpool FC News Today channel.
Steven Gerrard's return to the Premier League has seen another old favourite come back with him. It was there when Manchester City won at Aston Villa last week. And then strangely also when they beat Watford at the weekend. It will doubtless also be there when Chelsea go to Villa Park on Boxing Day. And then consequently it'll probably also pop up when the Blues host Liverpool in what looks to be a pivotal match for the title race on January 2nd. It is, of course, that Demba Ba song. And almost 8 years on, the lyrics are still fresh in many memories. Because the moment still is, too. It feels like a staple in our national consciousness, something that we always know is there. Like Strictly, MasterChef, The Professionals, or a James Bond film on ITV on a Sunday afternoon, if that's your thing. Perhaps that is because the modern-day Liverpool is now so far removed from that 2013-14 vintage under Brendan Rodgers, only Jordan Henderson remains. And infamously he was suspended for that Chelsea game, and so it is possible to look back at the time and the team and see a standalone piece of work. The fervor which gripped football supporters when Liverpool went on that 11-game-winning run immediately prior to the Chelsea defeat, going from a team with an outside chance of the title to the favourites to win it, really was quite something. Red supporters were swept up and convinced that this was finally it. The end of the storm, and in the exact style that they had imagined it. Led by Gerrard after all had done over the previous 15 years to keep the club relevant. In addition, a narrative took hold at the time that there were large parts of the nation that were willing Liverpool on. With their thrilling football, the Gerrard factor and the historical weight, just three of the reasons for a sudden wave of support that the media were only too keen to push in the hope of a good story. And while that probably was true for large swathes of a non-tribal, perhaps largely non-Premier League populace, there were fans of Liverpool's traditional and not so traditional rivals who could not bear the thought of Gerrard with that trophy in his hands. The Reds' 24-year wait was a safety net for them, and a constant to point to during pub arguments. They could not abide this idea that Rodgers' team were the nation's sweethearts, and so something had to be done to stop this somewhat thrown together small squad from becoming champions. That the decisive blow was struck by Liverpool's own captain and icon was manna from heaven for them. As a complete piece of work, the Gerrard Ba moment really does have it all, the fallen hero, the element of slapstick and the overt human knowledge at what had just befallen someone is the most catastrophic thing they could imagine, simply because it means so much to them. That is both devastating and hilarious, and means you can't look away. Have your say. Where does Gerrard's slip rank among the Premier League's most iconic moments? Tell us here. Along with Sergio Aguero 2 years earlier, it is the standout moment in Premier League history, and it came at a time when a new breed of football fan was beginning to emerge. Meme culture and the hive mind of supporters was taking hold. And suddenly, trolling your rivals became almost as important as your own team winning. You could pick your battles too. And so to Manchester United supporters it didn't matter that Manchester City were winning another league when there was Liverpool to laugh at. The same was true for pretty much everyone else too. You might have wanted Liverpool to win the league, or at least not been that bothered if they did. But the fact that they lost it in this manner was quite funny, so pile on. As the human symbol of Liverpool's hopes and aspirations, all of which matched his own, Gerrard was a lightning rod for all of this, as a decade and a half of excellence was shattered with a jiff. It isn't an exaggeration to say it broke him. As he details himself in the excellent Make Us Dream documentary from Amazon Prime, and after the non-event of 2014-15. It was only when he made his escape to Los Angeles that he was really able to process what happened. That he has not only done so but also used the moment to frame much of his managerial outlook is incredibly impressive. As he thinks nothing of dropping the worst day of his playing career into conversations about his own development and preparing players for success and failure. It is a healthy and open approach, although that will now face its sternest test. Gerrard has been back to Anfield many times since 2014, of course. He played for another season, was Liverpool's under-18s manager for a campaign and has also cheered Jurgen Klopp's team on as a fan. But now he'll take his place in the Aston Villa dugout across from the German, as his first direct involvement with the fortunes of the Klopp-era Liverpool comes to pass. It will undoubtedly feel different. Not that he'll be thinking of it like that. Gerrard's devoted, committed approach to management may have come as a surprise to many, as has the disciplined way his football teams play. But it has been hugely impressive. There is a hunger there that you often don't see from the very best players, and they go into management. But then Gerrard has always seemed more driven by what he hasn't achieved rather than what he has. He needed to get away from Liverpool to realize that. And he hasn't looked back since. Liverpool haven't either, of course, and the uneasy truth is that both have been better off staying away from each other. With Klopp delivering on his promise to remove the Reds' heavy backpack of history that he discussed at his introductory press conference back in October 2015. Sentimentality can spread at a big club, you only need to look at Manchester United for evidence of that, but if Gerrard is to become Liverpool manager one day, there is a determination on all sides that he will have to have earned the right. For now there is a game on Saturday, and 3 points to play for. It is to everyone's credit that it will be the only focus.